That's a good ball for Pittodrie. Now Aberdeen with McGee making the break and Hewitt waiting in the middle. Hewitt!
Countdown to Kickoff is brought to you and supported by Saltire Energy, who would like to wish all ABTV viewers a very happy new year. As with everybody at Craig International, with 10 offices strategically placed around the world, when the clock struck midnight last night, everybody in the Craig International family celebrated. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And also, Steadfast Scotland would like to wish all ABTV viewers a very happy new year and a prosperous 2025. Aberdeen welcome the year 2025 with a huge game against Ross County. Without a win in 8 games, Jimmy Tillene's men need to find that winning formula again. A bumper crowd is expected tomorrow, who no doubt will play their part in helping the lads get across the line. Don't forget, kick-off tomorrow at Pittodrie is at 3 o'clock. Let's put it into context for you. So, let's not forget that the top 2 play each other tomorrow. So, Rangers drop points. Aberdeen, with a win against Ross County, who currently sit 10th, can go into second place. It's the Dundee derby as well. So, anything can happen in derby matches, as we know. Dundee get the points, and Aberdeen get the points. It will be a very decent day's work all round. So let's hope that we, first and foremost, take care of ourselves and get back to winning ways. Hi everybody, how are you doing? A very warm welcome to Ali Beg ABTV ahead of our game against Ross County at Pittodrie tomorrow. This is your chance to have your say. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me your thoughts. Give us an idea of your team news. Now, I would normally give you the team news on a graphic, but unfortunately I've had some technical difficulties with it tonight, so I'll just give it to you verbally in a short while. We've also got the usual bits and pieces, got the match stats for you, pulled out a couple of quotes from Jimmy Tillene ahead of the game as well. But there is only one place to start tonight, because the club, in the past hour or so, have released a statement about the compensation that was agreed, well, not agreed, sorry, I'm talking rubbish. The compensation that was settled by the tribunal. So, first and foremost, they said that the figures were not true, that the figures given out, and they've also said that they were leaked, were not true. So the actual fee is £639,920, with an additional £250,000 conditional performance-based payments. They've said in the statement, the determination falls a long way short of what we believe would be an appropriate award. They also said that this case highlights the need for an urgent review into both domestic and international training compensation systems. So the football club are not overly happy, as you can imagine. It's cost the football club as well to go through the process, and I think absolutely fair play to them for coming out and putting that statement out in the past hour or so. So if you want to read it in full, it's currently sitting on the club's website. So it's a little bit more than what we first anticipated, but still, in terms of the club, it falls short of their value. So come and tell me what you think about that as well. On a sort of a more positive note, did you see the tweet that the football club put out yesterday, which I thought was quite smart, I have to say. And it's just gently reminding people of where we are, considering the current predicament that we're in. So they compared the league table or the league position to where we were this time last year, to the league table to where we are this year. And I think it's quite safe to say that I think all they're doing is just quite simply asking for the fans' continued backing, continued support to get through the difficult period. And let's not forget, it's not as bad as we all think. Yes, performances must improve, starting tomorrow against Ross County, who we know are going to be difficult. Don Cowie will have them playing a difficult brand of football, as we know. It's going to be difficult to break them down. We're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to defend, hence why there will be changes at the back tomorrow. So overall, tomorrow is a vital game for us to start the new year in a positive fashion. We keep saying it, don't we? We have to get back to playing the way we did in the opening games of this current campaign. Get back to doing that, using the width, overlapping fullbacks in support, getting crosses into the box, be it a full-blown cross or cutting back. That's where the majority of our goals came from. If we can get back to that, then we'll do okay. I'm wondering if the manager tomorrow might change things tactically, because so many of you have commented recently where you think that now that we've started to play teams the second or the third time around, that they've sussed us out. So now I think it is up to Yimmy to make sure that this doesn't happen and it doesn't continue to happen. I really hope the boys have got over the last gasp defeat against Dundee United. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they have. And we go again. So let me tell you, I'm sorry that I can't bring you the graphic, but just let me tell you the team that I think will start tomorrow. So Dimitar in goal, obviously. Nicky Devlin at right back. And then Angus MacDonald, Gavin Malloy, and Jack McKenzie across the four. In front, because Nielsen is suspended, don't forget, I think he'll play Palaversa, and I think he's going to play the skipper. I think that's what he'll do. Then, over on the right-hand side, I'm going to start with Shaden Morris. Through the middle, I'm going with Leighton Clarkson. And over on the left, I'm going with Topi Keskinen. I would much prefer Topi to play over on the left because I think it suits his game better. And up front, I'm going to stick with Esther Sokla. But, you know, it's in the lap of the gods. For me, it's a 50-50. It's either going to be Esther or it's going to be Kevin Nisbet. One of the two. So that's roughly what I think the team will be. In terms of the match stats, so Aberdeen have won 5 of their last 6 league meetings with Ross County, drawing the other, keeping 4 clean sheets during this time. In the last 15 years, the Dons have only lost their first league game of a calendar year on 2 separate occasions. That was in 2018 and 2020. Ross County have lost both of their last 2 league visits to Pittodrie. The man in the middle tomorrow is David Dickinson, and on VAR is Kevin Clancy. Let's see what the manager has to say. We have to keep working. We can't hide or wait for some magic things to happen. We have to go through it and try to be better. You always get what you deserve in the long run. It's not over yet. It's just a part of the season we're not happy with. He finished off by saying, the only way to go up is hard work. Keep the head high and take on the next challenge. I think it was quite obvious for everybody to see that once again, after the Dundee United game, even though he was a lot calmer than I thought the Kilmarnock game, and a lot more assured in his post-match interview than the Kilmarnock game, I still think that he was extremely angry by the way that we conceded the last gasp goal, but he was overall much happier with the performance. So let's hope that tomorrow we're celebrating the beginning of the new year with a decent performance and, more importantly, 3 points. Right, let's get you guys on and see how you're all doing. So let me bring that down. Okay, lots of you on tonight. Great to see. Thank you. First and foremost, before we get to them, Happy New Year. I hope you all had a fantastic time last night, and I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful and prosperous and healthy 2025. So Happy New Year. Sorry, I should have said that at the top of the show. Gavin Wilson says, another must-win game. Ross County came back against Hearts So I expect them to be a stubborn mule. Hope Palaversa and Pulvara start. He's also wishing everybody a happy new year. Gordon Keith Ritchie says, good evening all. Happy New Year to everybody. We need to get back to basics tomorrow. Get a win. In Yimmy we trust. And we're in a much better position than seasons before. Come on, let's get the win. Paul Donaldson says, happy New Year to everybody. As is Billy Johnson, I beg your pardon. This game is a must win, and we have 2 enforced changes to 2 players who folk have been wanting rested for a while in Nielsen and Ruby through suspension. So don't forget, that was the reason for my team news, is because Ruby and Nielsen are both suspended for tomorrow's game. Paul Hannon is here wishing everybody a happy new year. Bellamy Eve Anderson says, hello fellow Aberdeen supporters, and I want to thank Ali for having this platform. I am partially sighted and rely on audible programmes for the game tomorrow. And I want to say a very best of luck to the team. Bellamy Eve, thank you so much for coming on, and I'm so delighted that you're enjoying the show. Thank you. Happy New Year to you. Paul Donaldson says, I just saw the statement the club put out about the player who moved to Sevco. It's fair to say the club are not happy with the settlement or the process and how long it has taken. Gavin Wilson said it made matters worse by the reporting by the Glasgow media on the fee and the conditions. Samantha Reid says, happy New Year, dandies. Let's start 2025 by getting back to winning ways tomorrow. Norman Baker is also wishing everybody a happy new year. It's a must-win tomorrow. It really is this time. With the greatest respect to Ross County, if we can't beat them at home, who can we beat? Gavin Wilson speculating that Dundee United want Calvin Ramsey on loan. Raymond McCombie is saying, happy new year to all fans. I still believe we have it in us to finish second and reach another cup final. I'm sure Yimmy will add quality to the squad this month. Let's keep believing and be positive, he says. Bellamy Eve Anderson came back to say happy new year to everybody associated with Aberdeen Football Club. My last point is that I think Nielsen has turned into a bit of a liability. Chatting back to referees, getting yellow cards, etc. Neil is on, wishing everybody a good evening and a happy new year. Norman Baker is suggesting that it might be a good thing that Ruby and Nielsen are ruled out tomorrow. Kaiser's on, wishing everybody a happy new year. Scott Bowie says, happy new year to everybody. We'll only start winning games is to start with keeping the ball out of our own net first and foremost. As of late, we definitely need 2 goals a game to at least get a win. Dave B says, happy new year, dandies, and let's hope we can have a good one. Scottish Cup and push for second. John Morris here, wishing everyone a good evening and a happy new year. Kaiser's asking if anybody's absolutely bleezing still from yesterday. Bleezing, I've not had that word for ages. Is anybody still bleezing? John Moore says, let's just beat County and let's just crack on. Exactly, John. Matthew Cole says, good evening, Ali. Hopefully a good win to get us back on track. The Mad Ferret says, happy new year to all Reds. Here's to 3 points tomorrow. Stand free. A few of you already commented about Nielsen getting the rest and how good it'll do him, etc., etc. Kaiser is also saying that we need 2 centre-halves in this window. Colin Gale says, I'd like to see Alfie Stewart given a chance in 2025. A couple of development players regularly on the bench would be good to see. Barry Cole says, evening dandies, happy new year folks. Dinging down in Aberdeen. Dinging down. Donald Cushney says, get the money up front, no payment in instalments. Bellamy Eve Anderson came back to say, we need a striker in the window. 9 shots at goal in the past few games is really not good enough. He also says we're missing Big Pappy, which we are. Kirstein's on. Hi Kirstein, how are you? Happy New Year, Ali and my fellow dandies. Let's hope we get some decent players in January and get 2025 off to a good start. Stuart Hepburn is just reminding us that we often struggle against County. My boys are flag bearers tomorrow and my wee girl is playing on the pitch at half-time. Much excitement. A good thing through the ABBA DNA. Great to know, Stuart. I really hope they have a brilliant day. John Grant is here saying, hi all, hopefully we can get back to form. We need to be more positive up front and start to convert our chances. Barry Cole is confident tomorrow. He says, I think we'll get back on the horse tomorrow. Fancy a decent win. Alexander Wallace says, good evening, dandies. Here we go. New start for 2025. Has to be a midfield four with Polvara and Palaversa and Shady and Duke as wide men with Sokla and Nisbet up front and a back four. Martin Smith says, I think we will have a more positive and forward-thinking midfield. I dropped McGrath as he'd offered absolutely nothing recently. I completely agree. I wouldn't have Jamie anywhere near our starting lineup at the moment, with the greatest respect. Erica Mitchell's here saying, Happy New Year to all dandies. Hope to God we can start this year off with a win against Ross County tomorrow. Would be an early birthday present for me, as my birthday is on Friday. So Erica, many happy returns for Friday. Have a great day. The Musical Box says, since the guidelines for compensation have never been upgraded, this should be addressed, and to save them from having to do this regularly, they should build in a figure of 4% for inflation. Sorry guys, just let me get the chat has just jumped a wee bit here. Colin Gale says 639,000 is reasonable as long as it is paid up front. However, it will probably be in instalments like many transfers these days. Cammy Fraser's on, wishing everybody a good evening. Hi Cammy. Kaiser says we need to try and offload Mackenzie, McGrath and Duke, or they will leave for nothing in May. And let's be honest, they haven't exactly been setting the heather alight. Sheep on Fire says, Happy New Year to everybody. Feel Ambrose and Ruby have to be nowhere near the game tomorrow. Shady and Duke need to be on from the start. Richard Mickey McMillan is here, wishing everybody a Happy New Year. Robin the Bold said, last year we were in Europe. Look at Hearts. Point this time and what they have so far this year. Can't be bothered is asking, is Gavin Malloy fit? From what I understand, he is. Kaiser says, Ross County needs... all that Ross County will need is to punt the ball high into the box for their big centre forward White, and we're going to be toiling. So a lot of you are speculating about Gavin Malloy, and a lot of you are speculating about Palaversa. Is he suspended as well? So, which would obviously have a huge impact on the team selection for tomorrow. So Kirsten is basically saying if Malloy is out, then I'd put Mackenzie in the middle and Shinnie at left back with Palaversa and Polvara in the middle. The Musical Box says we have to be beating Ross County at Pittodrie, and I expect we will. Ewan Sutherland said Esther needs to close down defenders with intent. He seems to think that running alongside his opponent is enough. It isn't. Darren Mackey wasn't as good a player, but boy, he could close a defender down. Simon Roy says, evening dandies, Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully 3 points to start the year. Scott Bowie is suggesting that we could recall Richard Jensen from his loan. Do you know, honestly, with the way things are going, we might just have to, unless we get players in quickly. As Musical Box is suggesting, we have to get a striker in as quickly as we can. Right, so just let me bring that down just for a second, because I just wanted to very quickly remind you of a show that we've got tomorrow. Where is it? There we go. So let me get that in. So I really hope you can join me tomorrow for the live watch-along show. So we're going to be on air from 14:55, so 5 minutes before kickoff. And the idea, because the game's not being broadcast live in the UK, because it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, the idea is that basically we just have a community of fans clicking on the show and we all watch it together. So because I'm a Red TV International subscriber, it means that I can basically sit here in my studio, I can watch the game live, and then I can basically report as it's happening. I'm not allowed to commentate because that's not allowed, but I can report. So I can let you know what's going on. And I'll just read out all your comments. So you guys get involved with the live chat. Just give us your thoughts. For the Kilmarnock game, at one point we had nearly 400 viewers, which just absolutely blew my mind. So if you're at a loose end tomorrow and you've got no means of watching the game or listening to the game or anything like that, and you fancy doing something different, where you can get involved, then why not come and join us at 5 minutes to 3 here on Ali Beg ABTV. And also tonight, I wanted to show you this. So if you are going to the game tomorrow, here is your Red Matchday front cover, superbly designed as always by Dolly Digital and brilliantly edited and put together by the magnificent Malcolm Panton. If you're watching the show tonight, don't forget, give us an old like. Thank you for your comments so far. I'd also be delighted if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel. If you're enjoying what you're watching and you can see how we're building and you can see the progress and how we're getting better, and you haven't subscribed yet, I'd be absolutely thrilled if you would seriously consider it. Jump on board. Doesn't cost you anything at all. All it means you're just simply following us. So we're now over 4,100. The next target is 4,200 and we continue to build. Okay. Apparently it's going to be very cold in Aberdeen tomorrow, so if you are going to the game, please wrap up. John Moore says, another live watch along. Hope it's better than the last one. Oh, dearie me. Hey, Barry was asking on the ticket sales for tomorrow, and Kaiser very kindly replied by saying about 16,000 so far. Right, let me get back to the top of your comments. Sammy Roy says, hoping we play 2 up tomorrow. He's hoping that maybe Sokla and Nisbet could work together. The musical box says, I think whoever is wide tomorrow, we need more from them than we have in the past few weeks. Paul Hannon is reminding everybody that the Dons so far this year are unbeaten. Kaiser says, I'm looking forward to seeing Palaversa Pulvara combo. Hopefully it won't be a letdown. Be interesting to see. Cammy Fraser says, I don't buy this other teams have sussed us out. Yimmy wants to play with an Aberdeen identity and won't deviate from that. Has anybody sussed Celtic out? Canewell Metal Detective says, Happy New Year, dandies. Due to be Africo tomorrow, so wrap up well, he says. Musical Box says, everyone has sussed out Celtic. They just don't have the money. They just don't have the money for the players who could do something about it. Kaiser has said that Fletcher Boyd might get a run out if we're struggling in midfield. John Moore says, I think Duke deserves a chance as our main striker. The others have been poor at best. Remember, Duke got 16 goals in the second half of his first season. Cammy Fraser says, the statement from the club regarding the Barron fee, we put £2.2 million into the academy every year, but with tiny payments we get for youngsters, maybe we need to buy ready-made players at 16 years. Musical Box says, I'll pop in at half time, but I can't watch the game on Red TV International and participate in the watch along as I can't concentrate on both. Cammy just came back just to finish off with his last point about buying ready-made players at 16 and suggesting maybe scale back the academy. There was that quite damning stat that got put out on socials recently where it's been a while since there's been any sort of academy players that have come through and have played minutes. It's been a while, and it was quite damning, I thought. Musical Box says, I'd be very pleased to see Duke as an out and out central striker. I think he could get his goals. Gavin Wilson says the Latvian defender that we've been linked with, his Achilles heel is he can dally on the ball, but he's a great leader and a great header of the ball. If he's caught by the attacker, he's got the speed to catch him up. Right, guys, we are just about done. We're just coming up. Oh, we're just done over 25 minutes. Just let me see if there's any others kicking about here. Paul Hannon says, the only thing I'm nervous about tomorrow is the drive up from Falkirk with the conditions expected. So yeah, so if you are going to the game tomorrow, guys, please have a safe and pleasant journey. Right, guys, we're going to call it a day. So as always, thank you so much for coming on. And don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow for the Watch Along show. I'll be here at 5 to 3. I really hope you can enjoy me. So all that's left to say, as always, at this time of night, is the very best of luck to the lads tomorrow. Do your very best to get back to winning ways. It would cheer us up no end. That's all I'm going to say. See you tomorrow. Stand free.